Welcome back, everyone. Sometimes you just want a hassle-free experience when it comes to 3D printing. And if you're okay with a little bit of scarring and you just want to kind of throw your print on the slicer and you want to go, then organic tree supports and Orca Slicer, absolutely the best way to go. And as you know, I'm a huge fan of the resin style supports that I generate through Lychee Slicer for my smaller miniatures when I'm trying to preserve some of those finer details. But for larger vehicles, larger terrain, organic tree supports are like the game changer. They're the way to go. Not only are they quick, but they're automated. So it really takes a lot of the thinking out of your hands and they get the job done. In today's video, I'm going to showcase my go-to settings for organic tree supports. These are the settings that I have been using for quite some time now. We'll be talking about Z, top distance, and interface settings that I've dialed in not only to help you remove the prints easily, but also to make sure that in many cases, you don't even need pliers to remove them. They just peel right off. We're going to be running today's prints on my K2 Pro here using a 0.16mm layer height, using the 0.4mm nozzle. And today, I've actually loaded up something different here. The Sunlu Meta is a popular choice for a lot of hobbyists, a lot of people printing miniatures. Personally, I find that while it does a great job of minimizing layer lines, it can also struggle with complex overhands and just difficult thin prints on miniatures. It does have a lower melting point and a slower cooling. So a lot of times for the resin style supports that I use, it's not the best choice, but for printing a tank, guys, absolutely perfect. For today's print, we're going to be using the Stormbringer repeller from Daka Studios. I reached out to them and they were delighted and were completely okay with me showcasing that. So make sure you check out the link in the pinned comment and in the description. I'm a huge fan of Daka Studios, so make sure you go show them some support. My goal here was to angle every piece just to minimize those flat surfaces, and that's the areas where you're going to get the most visible layer lines. You can't completely remove all layer lines in FDM prints, but if you just give a little bit of thought to your angling, then you kind of reduce those top surfaces that are going to appear. Ideally, you'd want to minimize the overall horizontal surfaces on your prints. The other thing that allowed me to do the angling there is to ensure that my supports, the support scarring that I'm going to get, it's inevitable with these organic tree supports, that it's going to be minimized, and it's also going to be in spots where they're not going to be visible once you assemble the piece. Now, if you want to grab these exact presets here, make sure to pause the video here while I showcase them. However, if you want a more detailed deep dive of all my global presets, my workflows, if you want to join a growing community over on the Discord, make sure to check out the Patreon there. Join us over there. It's a great way to support the channel at the same time and just kind of join a growing community where we talk shop all things 3D printing and hobby. Now I will put the total print time in this miniature. Honestly, the results were amazing. I could have pushed for quicker print times by going to a 0.2mm layer height, but I feel like the 0.16 layer height provides a perfect balance between like something that's good for the tabletop in my preference, but also I'm okay with throwing these prints on overnight and they're done by the time I wake up. I do recommend using pliers if you are really concerned with removing your supports. Just kind of a little pinch along the top surface and pulling away does the trick. However, for me and for the purpose of this showcase, I was going to show you how you can just peel them away. So I just pulled off all the supports, came off really easily. The prints came out fantastic here. The Sunlu Meta definitely delivers with reduction of those layer lines. Just be aware that in my experience, speeding up the print speeds here sometimes has caused errors in the past on other prints because of the slow cooling there. So definitely, you're not going to get the fastest prints with the Sunlu Meta, but you're going to get pretty good quality using the 0.4mm nozzle. Now, once I had the tank assembled, it was time to paint, and I've been stockpiling a lot of projects. If you've seen my terrain video here, make sure to check that out because that's where I go over calibrations, but that was a lot of terrain that I printed and some other things that I printed in the past with other terrain projects. So today was the day I finally got all of this done, got primer on all of these. And that brings us to today's sponsor, Tailswell Hornet. Now this thing was pretty impressive. First of all, it's like super light. So that was something that I really liked. The fact that I could just take this and move it outside. There's no power cables, no anything that I need to worry about really much. Just fill up the paint with my standard acrylic paints. In this case, I was using a black primer. Just threw it in there, diluted it somewhat, and it was ready to go. I think the batteries last about 15 to 20 minutes, but in my experience, I needed about 3 to 4 minutes, not counting drying time in between, to finish the entire tank and all the terrain. It's incredibly fast compared to other products. And so like you don't have to use a rattle can to go outside. You don't have to deal with those aerosols because you're using regular acrylics. Now I must say that when I put everything outside, I kind of put it in a box and I wasn't really thinking too well about how I was going to rotate it. So I ended up like using my hand to like pick up and move the objects around, flip them upside down and throw paint on them. And the tank, actually, I left some fingerprints on the tank. Not big of a deal. It's primer, so I feel like it's gonna add a little bit of weathering. We'll say that's mud, my fingerprints on there. So lesson learned, I should have just took my Lazy Susan, which is somewhere around here. Yeah, so I should have just had this out there, and then that would have actually been the smarter thing to do. But absolutely incredible product. You can find an affiliate link for the Tiswall Hornet in the description and in the pinned comment below. Big thanks to them for sending me out and letting me test it out, put it to its paces. And here you go, the tank looks absolutely amazing. The amount of movable parts on this was pretty cool. I actually haven't attached everything yet. Like these back things here are just like push in. So I probably should have removed them when I was painting them, but I'm not sure. Like the top here, I haven't, it's not like glued or anything, so I can move it over. It kind of looks pretty cool. You kind of turn it around, kind of just pops in, and you're able to just kind of turn it around. Super cool. Move it around like that. The reverse little turret here as well, you can move that around. I did end up gluing a few things like the sides of these tracks here on the sides, but just great detail here on all of it. The coat, the black looks awesome in there. I don't really know what I'm going to do. I feel like with large structures like this and the terrain that I do, I feel like the sponge painting is like the optimal route to go here. Maybe do some light airbrushing here and there, but I feel like sponge painting is gonna be it for me here. Like not cover all the parts, but like let some of the black stay in the recesses there. Maybe throw some brown in there, but absolutely amazing. And because of the way that we printed it, guys, so like most of the support scarring's underneath, which just made me realize I need to put this like on a base, right? I'll have to figure out what kind of base to put this on. I don't know if it's 100 or 90 or something. I know how the rules work with the actual vehicle itself, right? But this is an awesome little tank to print, and just shows you that with the right angling on your supports, you can get pretty cool results like this, even using organic tree supports. So there you go. Once again, thank you for Tiswall for sending out the Hornet there. Super impressed with that. And also, of course, make sure to check out the Stormbringers line over at Dakataka Studios. I do really like their miniatures. They have a very good, cool aesthetic that you guys know I'm a huge fan of. So hopefully we'll get some more of their miniatures on the channel. But thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys later.